and welcome to today's session, which is all centered around abundance, abundant nature, the things that we've got to feel thankful for, and also calling in our dreams and wishes, specifically this week because it's a full moon on Sunday. So join me on your mat and let's begin. Okay, so beginning with our activations, let's get the body moving. So to start with, taking the legs a bit wider than hip width apart, you're just going to roll through the feet side to side, rubbing the hands together, creating some warmth in the palms, pressing through the feet, and then get the forearms together as well. So especially as the weather changes, as we move into the winter months, working into getting some warmth in the joints and the skin, allowing that warmth up into the shoulders, across the chest, other side. Great, and then down into the tummy, into the legs, and still rock from side to side, maybe working through the ankle and the foot, up through the leg, over to the other side. Just building again that awareness of the body, checking in, and the lower back, onto your bum, a little wriggle, and then down through the backs of the legs as well. Okay, so moving side to side, we're going to take the arms one way and then the other, bending the knees. Again, just feeling into how your body feels today. If you want to take that squat a little bit lower, feel free. If you need to bring the legs a little bit closer together, again, another option. And let's go round and circle with the arms, coming one way and the other. So we're lengthening through the legs as we lift it up, and then over to the other side. And let's start a little step. Hop, skip and a jump. Nice. Keeping a soft bend through the knees. If you want to come a bit higher, again, the option is yours. I feel like flying today. Wonderful. I've just had a coffee, so I'm feeling very active today. Nice, carrying on the movement as we come over to the side, over to the left side, opening up through the right shoulder, coming back the other way. It's almost like you're pulling back the strings of a bow. Stretching through pecs. Wonderful for the lower back. And up through the mid-back as well. Thoracic part of the spine. Excellent. Whew. Nice, have a little shake here. Bringing the feet again into a squat position, so toes are just slightly turned out to support the knees. So there's a goddess posture here, so we're going to open the hands out to the side. As we extend through the legs, drawing the hands around, sinking down into a squat. Hands opening up, squatting down. So hands come in, round to the top, and outwards, opening up to the sky. And down. It's almost like a bit of a rebound on the clap to sink down a little bit lower. That's it. Channeling our inner goddess, sinking down and lowering. One more of these, and then just reaching side to side. Feeling a lengthening through the side body here. Fantastic, legs coming in drawing them hip distance apart, bringing the hands into prayer position. And then we're just going to move the elbow side to side, drawing the hands up and then floating them back down. So you're getting a twist through the body. Prayer position, fingertips can face down as you come a bit lower, and then rotating the palms, fingertips to face up as we work through the top of the back. So I'm kind of turning my fingertips as I sort of come past the hips here. And then drawing up again. Smile coming to the face. And it doesn't need to be specific, as long as you can feel a twist through the body. I'm going to actually come down a little bit lower here. Taking my weight side to side to a nice spinal wave. And as I was writing this lesson, noticing that abundance has dance in it. So if you're feeling rhythmical today, channeling that into your yoga practice, your yoga flow, with a sprinkling of fun, always keeping our sense of humour. And coming back to the centre. Now we're just going to take the right foot out to the side. I'm going to mirror you here. Back foot can be parallel. Again, depending on how you're feeling today, you can play with the sort of width between the legs. We're going to draw the hands forwards, straightening that front leg as we bring the body back to centre. Curling forwards. Visualising, pulling in into your life those aspects of abundance that you want to invite, greet into your world. As you pull towards the tummy, the chest, opening through the shoulders. Breathing in, if you like, as you pull the hands out, exhaling as you come forwards. And as the body warms up, you might want to take that lunge a little bit further forwards, always keeping the ankle in line with the knee. So you can always see the toes as you come forwards. Wonderful, one more time. And then coming back to centre, I'm going to do it on the other side now. So I'm turning my left foot out. Again, I'm going to mirror you so we're working in the same direction. Coming forwards, inhale as you draw the hands back. And you'll notice with my fingertips, I'm stretching forwards and then guiding the hands back in like you're grasping the elements, again, that you want to invite into the body, especially on this special week of the full moon. Drawing hands in. Twice more, exhale as you come forwards, inhale coming out. And if you notice that the knee is travelling a little bit further forwards, just take that back foot a little bit further back. Once more for luck. And then walking the feet to hips distance. I'm going to move through the earth sequence here, Prithvi Namaskar. So we're interlacing the fingers, breathing in. Exhale, bending through the knees, lowering the hands down. Inhale, rising up through the body. Exhale, coming down. So we're going to use this Earth salutation to continue our warm-up. So moving a little bit more dynamically, if you can. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bending the knees. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming down. And from the side, and bending the knees, I'm just tucking the pelvis under, honouring that natural curvature in the back. But that tucking under just engages the core muscles without even having to necessarily think too much about them being recruited. Exhale, pressing down to the earth. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Wonderful. Taking the feet a little bit wider here. Coming into a forward bend, so we're pressing down towards the ground, bending the knees generously. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, coming back down. Breathing in. Exhale. Bending the knees, breathing in and exhale. They get a nice generous bend in the knees, and even if the hands are interlaced, we're not sort of gripping onto the opposite sort of fingertips. There's a looseness through the elbows and the wrists. Exhale. Breathing in and out. Closing the eyes if you'd like to, or focusing on a still point just in front of you. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale. Now keeping with that movement, if that suits you, if you want it a little bit further, you can come down into a squat. So I'm just going to bring my feet a little bit closer together. Inhaling, hands come up. Exhaling, down into a squat. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands come down. Keeping the fingertips in your peripheral vision all the time. So there's an awareness for the body in any which way that we move. Exhale. Inhaling up. Exhale. And I thought we'd start with this sequence today with abundance in mind, because of the abundance of the earth, Mother Earth, the nutrients, the beautiful landscape that it offers, and that shared experience of everybody across the globe that lives, breathes on this planet. Breathing in, exhale. Great. Taking the feet a little bit wider now, we're going to turn the right foot to 90 degrees. And then turning the body over that front foot here that's turned out. We're going to breathe in, lifting up through the back. Exhale, bending the front knee. Breathing in, lengthening through the arms. Creating a nice diagonal shape here, back to the back heel. Exhale, come back. Breathing in. Exhale. Breathing in, lengthening up. Exhale, weight coming back to the center, tucking the pelvis slightly forwards. Exhale. Inhale, lengthening up. Putting that openness through the chest. Hands come down. Breathing in. Exhale. Inhale, lengthening the hands away from the face up towards the sky. Exhale, come back. coming over to the other side. So we're turning the left foot out now, rotating through the hips. And if you want to bring the toes in a little bit more, so you're just changing the angle of the back heel, feel free to do that. Interlacing the fingers, lifting up through the body. On the inhale, exhale, pressing down along the line of the thigh. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming back. Breathing in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And this sequence is so magical in the way that it just grounds you through the body. Kind of notice the change in mood. Feeling the support of the earth. Having an awareness of the whole of the body and how it moves together with the breath. One last time, lifting up, exhale. Hands move along the line of the thigh. Inhale, raising the hands up. Exhale, coming back. And to finish with feet parallel. Coming back into standing posture. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, softening. Tucking under with the pelvis as you bend the knees. One last time. Exhale. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, hands coming down. Join them together in prayer position, allowing the feet to become parallel. Thumbs touching the center point of the chest and softening the gaze, or closing the eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. And just checking in with the body. That exhale brings a beautiful focus down towards the ground and the feet. Becoming very sensitive to the feeling of the floor and the soles of the ground and the feet. And with that willingness to seek new opportunity, that great potential, we're gonna just open the eyes and bring the fingertips to face forwards. And I'm going to peel the palms away from each other, thumbs touching, and then drawing the fingertips round to face the chest, opening the hands up in a very generous posture here, hand gesture. Sealing the practice. So we come down to the ground into our body preps. So if you have a strap, feel free to grab it now. It's okay if you don't have one. You can also use a blanket or a tie. So I'm going to come into hamstring stretch. So just bring in the strap to the side of your mat as you come down towards the floor, and feel free to pop the blanket underneath the hips if you like that, or even just a little support underneath the crown of the head. I'm going to take one here, just because that works for me. Wonderful. So bringing the knees up towards the chest. Let's just have a little roll through the lower back. Side to side. And maybe drawing some circles with the hips themselves. And in the other direction, you can take the hands onto the knees or onto the shins, finding what feels good for you. And then lowering the right leg down towards the ground. We're going to hug that left knee into the body. An option to take hands onto the thigh as well. That feels nicer. Noticing the movement of the breath within the torso itself, particularly if you're able to bring the thigh towards the tummy and the chest. Noticing that rise and fall on the inhale and the exhale. And then gently taking your strap onto the top of the foot. And if you haven't got a strap, you can just bring the hands onto the thigh here, supporting the leg. So I'd advise either having a length through the rope and bringing the elbows down towards the ground so you can relax the shoulders into the floor, or alternatively you can lengthen through the arms and then gravity allowing the shoulders to come back. There's two options there. We're just trying to avoid sort of clenching through the arms and bringing tension into the upper body. So you can have a play with both of those, finding what works best for you. And then just breathing into the back of the leg as you feel that stretch through the hamstring. And with every exhale, inviting that stretch into the muscle body itself, and maybe noticing that the leg maybe just inches a little bit further towards the face. Finding that first point of stretch, if you're noticing the leg sort of shaking or you're moving into pain, I suggest moving the leg further back and away and allowing the rope or the tie, whatever you're using, just to gently move through the hands. Wonderful, bending the knee, giving the leg a bit of a shake, and then taking the other leg up now. So coming into that nice first part of the stretch, either with the hands on the thigh, below the knee, on the shin. Wherever you are, consciously bringing a softness to the shoulders. So we're not holding on to the leg for dear life. Noticing the upper back easing into the ground as we gently take our band placing it on the top of the foot, and then finding that variation where you hold the band itself, allowing the shoulders to feel supported by the ground or by gravity. And just seeing how little effort you can put into this stretch itself. Doing less. Less is more. Visualize breathing space into the muscle belly. And then gently lowering the legs down, having a little shake through that leg. You can even draw both knees up if you want to, have a little roll side to side. Or another option is to bring the soles of the feet to the floor, to the edges of the mat, and then just rolling the knees side to side. One way and then the other. Wonderful. Coming on to the side. And gently rolling back to a kneeling position here. If this isn't comfortable for you, you're welcome to grab a chair, maybe like an exercise ball. Another little tip is as well, you can place a block here on the back of the heels so you can sit comfortably. So we're just going to work through another body prep for the rotator cuff and the shoulders. So I'm going to show you actually turning to the back just so you can see what I'm doing. And again, if you haven't got a band, I'll show you the movement first. So I'm drawing one hand up and one hand down. And they're not going to touch, but we can imagine that we're holding a band here if we don't have one, and just moving the arms back and forward. It's almost like a flossing kind of motion. And if you do have a band, you can use this to facilitate that movement. You can take the hands as wide as you need to. So we're creating an internal and external rotation through the shoulders. For more of a challenge, you'd want to bring the hands a little bit closer together. Again, moving up and down, keeping that movement constant. And then swapping to the other side. So, have a little play. I'm going to come to face forwards. So, coming to the first side, let's bring our left hand up and you can place your band in that hand. The other elbow comes underneath, so bending at both the elbows and just drawing the sash up and down. This is a prep specifically for our cow face posture that we're going to be doing later. Warming up through the shoulders. And again, if you're moving into any pain, just easing off. You could always come into this position rolling through the shoulders, or maybe one of the movements from EBR1 itself, as you roll forwards and backwards. And then coming to the other side now. So we'll take our band into the right hand, stretching up through this top arm, and bringing the left arm round to take the bottom of the strap. And then guiding the hands up and down. And focusing on trying to keep that band nice and straight up and down the length of the spine. Maybe guiding the hands a little bit closer together as you warm up into the shoulders. Wonderful. Got my hair clip keeps getting in the way. Wonderful. And then drawing the band down, moving the shoulders, a little shake. Your props to the side. Shaking through the body. Great. Have a little jiggle any way you need to. And then drawing the hands together as we come into Tadasana. Closing the eyes. Softening through the knees. Adjusting the pelvis into neutral position. And lengthening up through the chest. So the chest probably feels more open now that we've gone through that body prep. So really breathing into that new space that you found. And as you maintain that position, you can gently just open the eyes. I'm going to demonstrate our sequence for today called the Seat of Compassion. So I'll just move through it now, just with the breath, and then we'll move through it together, but feel free to hold Tadasana, and just to grab a drink of something. So here we are, the Seat of Compassion. Okay, now we move on to the other side. So we're going to move through that together. For modifications, you'll probably notice that I did a bit of a balanced posture here called Vakasana, the crane. So for a modification, you can always have a block nearby, if that helps, or feel free to grab a chair, or you can use a wall if you want to take the stretch into a place that feels a little bit more comfortable, and making sure that you can always bend your knees. So some of that you would have seen me with lengthening through my legs, but feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to. Even on this posture here, the leg can be bent all the time, bringing feet even closer together. So lots of options, finding what works for you. So let's have a go together. So coming into Tadasana, or if you're already there, I'll come and meet you. And to start the movement, or the sequence I should say, we're just going to add in an extra movement. This is called the lotus chair. So as we bend the knees, we're going to draw the hands up into chair of the heart posture here, and then bringing the hands back down. If you're working with high or low blood pressure as well, feel free to just keep the hands at the level of the heart so you can make the movement a little bit smaller. Exhale as you lengthen through the body, tucking the pelvis under. Inhale, coming back. Exhale. Creating this beautiful lotus mudra. And with that abundance mentality in mind, feel that you're lifting up your cup, ready to receive, to fill up your glass. Cool, just bringing the hands back down. So we're just going to take the feet out to the side. And I'll mirror you here, so taking your right foot out to 90 degrees first, and the back heel can turn to about 60. Again, finding a position there that works for you. You may want to bring the feet a little bit closer together. We're going to turn the body towards this open foot, and then taking the hands out to the side. Option here, first of all, to take the hand to the opposite wrist or opposite elbow. Or you can come into prayer position, pressing the hands into the mid-back here, lengthening through the body. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in, lengthening through the spine, lifting the heart up towards the ceiling. Exhale, coming forwards. Again, bending the knee as much as you need to, but we're all going to bend the knee as we press through that front foot, uncurling upwards. Inhale, little back bend here, keeping the chin close to the chest. Exhale, coming forwards. Bending the knee as you come up. Lengthening through the body, back bend here. Exhale, coming forwards. So lengthening through the front leg if you can. And then everybody bending the knee as you lengthen up through the body. Coming back to center. Creating a nice diagonal here from the toes to the crown of the head. This time as we come down, coming to a forward fold here. So hands coming either side of the foot or onto the calf itself. For an extra strength, lengthening through this front leg, but again, as always, if you need to bend that supporting leg, feel free to do so. Also taking a block or a chair as we prepare to come into Bakasana. So if you're working with a block or with the hands on the ground, you're going to move the positioning of the hands to about 2 hands lengths away from that front leg. Taking the weight through the front foot as we peel the back toes off the ground, and it can just hover off the floor, or maybe you lift the leg up so that the hips are still in line, but the foot and leg are extended. Notice here the alignment of the hips, so it's not that we're bringing the leg up as high as possible and bringing the pelvis out of alignment. Working with the hips here, lengthening through the neck, and a softness through the head. Really good for sending the fresh oxygen down towards the brain and the eyes. And then we're going to soften through the back knee, coming into a lunge here, taking any support that you need under the back knee, drawing the hands up, softening through the fingertips, breathing in, lift up and round. And we're going to do this as a bit of a flow here, so I like to do things in threes, breathing in, opening through the chest and round, carrying that on. If it feels more comfortable for you, you can always just draw the hand lower and then bring it back. If that feels better on your shoulders, that's an option. If you want to go for the full rotation, drawing the fingertips round, exhale as you come back. Then taking the weight forward, either onto your chair or to the ground. Back toes come under, lifting up into that first position. Lovely stretch through the hamstrings here. That's why we did our body prep. And then bending the front leg as you gently come back to the standing position. Hands come out to the side, breathing in. Exhale, finding that hold before either of the elbows or the wrists, or coming into prayer position. And we're going to roll through that first position once more, bending the knee as you come back up to standing. Back bend here, lengthening through the front leg. Exhale, coming down. Breathing. Keeping my chin close to the chest as I come up, all the way into that back bend. One more time. Pressing through the front toes as you bend that front leg. Lengthening up through the body, drawing the chest up towards the sky, chin close to the chest. Relaxing the hands down to the side as we come over to the other side. So my left foot is now turned out to 90 degrees. Back heel approximately about 60 degrees here. And for stability, it might be, normally we say sort of lining up with the medial arch of the back foot. If it helps your hips, you can also just line up the heels there, if that feels a little bit more stable for you. So breathing in, hands come out to the side. Exhale. Finding that place of touch on the forearms or the wrists, or up into prayer position. Hands coming into the mid back here, lengthening through the chest and just tucking the pelvis under. Breathing in. Exhale, coming forward. Again, bending this front knee as soon as you need to, and particularly bending it as you come back up. Lengthening through the front leg. Chin coming close to the chest. Exhale, come forward. Breathing in. Lengthening. Exhale, coming down. Relaxing the hands down to the floor or on your chair or on your block. Feeling into that stretch through the front leg. And then allowing the hands to come forwards. About 2 hands lengths, making any adjustments you need if you're going to come off your mat. Feeling that strength down through this beautiful, abundant earth. And just taking the weight onto this front leg, bending the knee as generously as you need to. Eventually, we'll be working towards lengthening through the supporting leg, but for now, particularly if this is the first time that you've done this movement, I'd advise bending the knee. And then the back leg comes up. And again, we're not taking the leg as high as we possibly can. We're drawing the leg up, so we're keeping that steadiness through the hips, almost like we could balance a cup of tea or a cup of water on the hips. Allowing the head to come down. Nice stretch through the supporting leg. On your next exhale, coming back into a lunge. Again, padding the knee if you need to. Drawing the hands up, breathe in. Exhale, softening into the bend through the elbows, the wrists, the knee. Breathing gently as you just find your positioning. And an awareness that you're just pulling that hip side with the front leg. So for you, it will be your left hip. You're just drawing that back, feeling the stretch through the opposite side. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhale. Hand comes around. Again, breathing in, lifting up. Or if you're modifying, you might draw the hand down to open up. And then bringing it forwards. Lots of options. Breathing in. Exhale. And once more, all together, lifting up. Opening yourself up to the potential. Exhale. Hands come either side of the foot or onto a wall or a chair if you need that support. Bending the back leg, tucking the toes under as we roll up through the spine. Hands coming out to the side. Exhale, finding your positioning through the arms. I'm going to modify now. I'm just going to clasp the elbows instead. Breathing in, tucking the pelvis under, lengthening through the back. Exhale, coming forward. Bending the leg as you press up through the floor. Drawing up through the chest. Ooh, is my tummy rumbly? Exhale down. Bending through the knee as you draw up through the body. Through that front leg. A lovely spinal wave happening here. And you then come forwards, relaxing the hands down by the side. Then we're going to clasp the fingertips together and drawing some circles here. So bending through the knees, I'm going to draw a circle close to the ground, all the way up. Exhale. Coming down towards the floor. Breathing in. This time tracing the hands level with the knees. Again, still generous bend in the knees, lifting Lengthening the hands up, level with the navel. Breathing in, spiraling upwards, level with the chest. Put that stretch through the upper back. Now circling, level with the throat. With the forehead. And a circle at the top, around the crown of the head, drawing the hands down to prayer position, standing in Tadasana. And then gently drawing the hands up above the crown of the head, parting the fingertips, and with palms facing towards the top of the head itself, just visualizing beautiful golden sunlight is shining down through the crown of the head. And that warmth, spaciousness. And a feeling of abundance just being absorbed by every cell of the body. And as you accept this beautiful gift, you feel yourself growing taller into the space above the head, while maintaining that contact with the ground and feeling connected, rooted down through the earth. As we gently bring the palms back together into prayer position. And that is the beautiful seat of compassion sequence. Really nice for opening through the chest, stretching the psoas muscle, so working on balance. So we're going to come down into our final sort of single posture of the day. This is the cow face posture that I explained. So I'll show you from the side. I'm going to show you a modified version from the side, the full posture, and then we'll move into it together. So feel free to grab a drink if you want to. So you'll notice I'm coming into Vajrasana here, into a kneeling position. And I'm going to take a band in my hand, lengthening up through the body. And then, similarly to the moving stretch that we held before, I'll show you from the back. Just holding this position here, lengthening through the body. The full posture. Again, I'll show you from the back. To roll over and sit on this back heel. My hips still maintaining level position. So I tactically picked my good side. Because actually you'll find your shoulders can be very different. I actually find I can meet in one position but not so much on the other side. So that's why it's really good to use a strap in that case, honouring that sort of asymmetry of the body. And again, we're all working We're working, progressing forwards. So just working mindfully on that. So coming into whichever variation you'd like to, so either coming into a kneeling position with your strap, or maybe you'd like to try with the legs coming over and but still using a strap. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to come and face forward. So if everybody wants to come into a kneeling position first, and if you're going to stay like this, feel free to pop a blanket or a block on top of the heels. And if you're coming into the full posture, you might want to just take the weight over to the left and drawing the right foot up. So you're actually going to sit on the left heel here, keeping the hips nice and level. Hands out to the side, breathing in. And because we're working in opposition, we're going to bring this left hand up, right hand down, and either bringing the hands together to clasp, using your band here, finding that openness through the back. And then finding your stillness, spaciousness within the posture. It's really good for stretching out the mid-back, thoracic spine. And then release. It's coming out to the side. Shaking through the legs if you want to. Whew. Nice. And coming back round again. I'm going to go over to the other side. Finding that center point first. And then gently taking the weight over to the right side. Left leg comes up and round if you're working into the full posture. And you're just going to sit the seat bones on the right heel. Breathing in, lengthening through the arms. Exhale, drawing this right hand up. And then a nice twist here. I'm definitely going to use my strap on this side. Finding that stretch, I should say. Oh, you have a little wobble, it's okay. Taking that lift up out of the hips. And trying to keep the tricep aligned with the face as opposed to bringing the hand out to the side. If you feel that you need to do that, I'd say just extend the space between the hands on the strap itself. Last couple of breaths here. And you may know that cows are sacred animals in India, so feeling that sacredness, that perfection in this cow-faced posture. Rooting down into the seat bones, almost as if you feel a heaviness through the legs. And when you're ready, drawing the hands out to the side, placing your strap to one side. And then coming into child pose. And you can take the knees out to the side if you want. Lengthening through the back. Also feel free to take a few cat-cows here as well. Just enjoying that mobility through the back. And swaying through the hips, whatever feels good for you. And then coming back into your kneeling position here. Just to finish up, because it's beautiful full moon on Sunday, which is when I'll be teaching this class live. I'm going to move through the moon sequence, Chandra Namaskar, and then we'll come into a relaxation together. So breathing in as you come up onto the knees, taking any cushioning that you need under the legs themselves. And just softening into that heart space, visualizing the beautiful moon as you kneel beside a giant body of water, maybe a lake or the ocean. Then take our right leg forwards to begin with, into a very comfortable, relaxed lunge position here. Breathing in again to that heart space as you exhale, turning the fingertips away from the chest and carrying that movement outwards, lengthening through the arms. Breathing in as you draw the hands apart and out to the side. Exhale as you roll through the shoulders, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, hands coming together, drawing down that center line of the body. Inhale, opening through the arms. Exhale, drawing the right hand down to the right foot. Modification for this, you can bring the right hand onto the thigh. Taking the gaze up towards the top hand. Breath moving naturally. As you feel that rise and fall of the belly onto the thigh. Taking the gaze down towards that front foot, breathing in, coming back to center. Exhale, drawing the opposite hand down towards the floor or resting it on the thigh. Either gazing down to the floor, or if your neck allows, drawing the gaze up towards the top hand. As you prepare to come back up, gaze comes down towards the floor. Breathing in, coming back to the center. Drawing the hands up. Exhale, hands coming down. As you draw this front foot back, I'm going to show you just from the side, lowering down to the belly. either through plank position, or you can bring the knees down low, down towards the ground. Hands resting underneath the shoulders as you breathe in, drawing up. Baby cobra here. Another option is to come into Sphinx posture here with the elbows under the line of the shoulders. I find this actually is more comfortable for me, especially if I'm holding the movement itself, Bhujangasana. Taking the gaze over to the right side. Breathing into the muscles of the neck. And gaze over to the opposite side. Lowering down through the body into Makanasana. Taking the feet out to the side, insides of the legs resting on the ground. Hands touching and gently allowing the forehead to rest on the hands. Alternatively, you can bring the side of the face onto the hands. Anchoring down into the ground. Feeling that connection that the tummy has on the inhale. As that contact with the earth increases. And then drawing the hands underneath the shoulders. Pressing back into child pose. I'm going to carry on just demonstrating from the side here. So we're going to move on to the other side now, bringing the knees together, and we're going to take the left leg forwards now. Bringing the hands to the chest. Inhale, exhale, turning the fingertips away and drawing the hands along that center line outwards from the heart space. Inhale, separating the fingers out to the side. Exhale as we rotate the fingertips, the palms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, raising the hands up, soft bend in the elbows. Exhale, drawing the hands down that center line, level with the heart. Inhale, gently prizing the fingertips apart. On the exhale, drawing the left hand down to the outside of the left leg or resting it on the thigh. Feeling that stretch through the side body. Gazing up towards that top hand if you can. Breathing to that spaciousness in the hips and the ribs. Gaze comes down towards the lower leg, breathing in, coming back to the center. Exhale, drawing the opposite hand down, right hand coming down towards the ground. Gazing up to the top hand. Again, if that's not comfortable, you can just keep the gaze down towards that floor, that supporting hand. And when you're ready, gaze coming down to the ground as you breathe in, coming back to an upright position, drawing the hands up into prayer and then drawing the hands down, taking this front foot back and drawing down into child pose. Feel free to grab a bolster or a block for the head. Or another variation, bringing the hands into fist shapes and resting the forehead on the hands. As we gently, in our own time, come to rest in Shavasana, grabbing any blankets, cushions, jumpers, socks, all the good stuff. Coming to rest on the back. And as you lie on your back, opening the palms up towards the sky, allowing the feet to roll open. Closing the eyes. And the awareness now is the area of the sacrum, so the lower back, almost where we think where the coccyx is. And breathing into that space, finding that contact to the floor. If you find that the lower back itself is just having a bit of difficulty easing into the ground, feel free to bring the knees up towards the chest and just have a little roll from side to side. And when you've found that sense of relaxation in the lower back here, breathe down into the right foot. And as you breathe in, you're pulling that awareness from the right toes back into the lower back. Guiding the breath up and down through the leg. Breathing in. As the awareness draws back to the lower spine, exhale down to the right foot. Breathing in, drawing the mind's eye back to that central point, the lower part of the spine. This time exhaling down along the length of the left leg. Inhale, awareness coming to the sacrum. Exhale down through the thigh, the left calf into the toes. Inhale, awareness coming back to the sacrum. Exhale down towards the toes and along the length of the leg. Inhale, coming back to the sacrum. And now the movement of the breath is going up the spine towards the crown of the head, and on the exhale, traveling down through the spine itself, down towards the pelvis, breathing in, lengthening up towards the crown of the head, exhaling down the spine to the sacrum again, in this still point. Inhale, lengthening up through the body. Exhaling down to the sacrum. Awareness now on the in-breath, traveling up through the spine, extending out to the right fingertips. Exhale back to the center point, towards the heart. Inhale along the length of the arm. Exhale. Inhale out towards the fingertips. Exhale. Over to the other side as you inhale. That internal gaze traveling down through the arms into the left fingertips. And back again. Exhaling out towards the fingertips. Inhaling, coming back to that heart space as you cultivate that feeling of abundance. A call to your dreams. And a sense of gratitude for all the beautiful things, the beautiful people, the experiences that you already possess. As you exhale, drawing down into that space of the sacrum, breathing in, up towards the heart space. Exhaling down towards the pelvis. Inhale. Exhale down to the sacrum. And then resting in stillness. Silently affirming to yourself, I am worthy, I am enough, I am worthy, and I am enough. And you can repeat that with every inhale and exhale if you want to. I am worthy. I am enough. Inhabiting a beautiful, spacious feeling of stillness. As we gently come back into the sensation of the body, wriggling the fingers and the toes. Becoming aware of the weight of the body on the ground, the texture of the clothes on your skin. As you, one final time, call in that wish, that goal, that dream, visualizing it as a radiance that enters the crown of the head and shines down through the entire physical body into the toes. And moving into that radiance as you begin to wiggle through the fingers and the wrists and the elbows, into the toes, the calves. Maybe drawing the fingertips up, interlacing them as you stretch the hands away from the toes. And when you're ready, rolling onto the right side again, enjoying this state of restfulness, stillness and abundance. And when you're ready, coming back to seated posture. Bringing the hands into prayer position. And rubbing the palms together. And to just seal our practice and to really honour the perfection of the world and the earth, we're going to come into a lovely mudra called the conch mudra. And if you place the left hand out in front of you, the right thumb coming onto the mid palm, you're going to curl the fingers around that thumb and then joining the thumb of the left hand to the index middle finger of the right hand. Beautiful energetic seals. These hand postures in yoga are, and this really honours the perfection of the natural world. And as you close the eyes, just honouring that perfection that resides within you, that's eternal, that's effortless. Taking some beautiful deep breaths as you sit tall into your seat. I wish you a wonderful day ahead or evening, depending on when you're doing this class. Thank you so very much for joining me. I'm bringing the hands into prayer position, bowing the head. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.